Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have some of your time. We're going to look at a construction by a new constructor today, Jazora, who has sent us Tenet. They've been following the channel for a while and wanted to mark their presence in the sudoku community by contributing a puzzle, and here it is. So that's a brilliant reason for sending us a puzzle. Now, somebody else who is working away on Sudoku in one form is Kathrin Bohnet, who is doing a master's thesis at a school in Germany, and is trying to put together a survey of personality to do with people who either solve Sudoku and in fact some who don't. And we've said we would let people know where they can find the survey. If you have 15 to 20 minutes spare to help out Kathrin, do look on the links under the video where there will be a link to the 15 to 20 minute survey for her master's thesis. Good luck with it, Kathrin. Now, there are many other links under the video. They will take you to things like Sven's Sudoku Pad and our merchandise. But also to our apps, which are a fantastic collection of puzzles and feature many that will be relevant, I imagine, to today's puzzles. Certainly we have Line Sudoku and Domino Sudoku, which already look relevant. But do check it out. There's a fascinating array of apps there, and up to 100 puzzles each in each one, and well worth a go. So do give them a try. Now, also, of course, in the links under the video, the first one after the video itself is to, well, and after Kathrin's study, is to Patreon, which features this month Simon's Solve of Bug Bite from Jane Street, which is really interesting. A very interesting watch. Give it a try. And of course, there's still time to enter Glum Hippo's brilliant CTC Snake Egg Collection Sudoku Hunt, or Puzzle and Sudoku Hunt, which is there. So that's Patreon. But the first link is to this puzzle called Tenet, and there are a number of normal rules and extra regions. So I will, and purple dots, which we don't often see. Anyway. Normal Sudoku rules apply. That means 1 to 9 goes in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, as normal. There are no repeated digits on a marked diagonal. You see both of the long 9-cell diagonals are marked. No repeat digits there. Or within a coloured region. And the coloured regions are obviously yellow, red, and blue in this puzzle. So that's the yellow coloured region. No repeat digits within that. 2 cells joined by a V or an X sum to 5 for a V, so those two add up to 5, or 10 for an X. Those two add up to 10. 2 cells joined by a white dot have a difference of 1, so they're consecutive digits. 2 cells joined by a purple dot have a ratio of the number written in the purple dot. So one of these is a third of the other. A cell with a grey circle contains an odd digit, and a cell with a grey square contains an even one. Those are the rules. There's a lot of symmetry going on in this puzzle, I'll tell you that straight away, but give it a try. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. Well, we've got these V's. Now, in a normal... Okay, there are 2 reasons why I'm not going to colour at first in this puzzle. One is because when I do colour, I like to colour blue for 1, 2, 3, 4 if I can, and orange for 6, 7, 8, 9. Now there's no orange provided in the original colour scheme, but there is blue, and that might get in the way a bit. The other reason is there's a chance that we would start out with high and low being the interesting division, but then end up with odd and even being the interesting division. So I'm going to try and do this with pencil marks until it just becomes impossible. There is every chance that'll happen. So on the V's, what I've done is said that to add up to 5, you have to use digits that are less than 5, and that gives us a 1, 2, 3, 4 set. So the remaining digits in box 5 are 6, 7, 8, 9. the high digits, which I would sometimes colour orange. And look, on the white dots, since they can't touch a 5, because of where 5 is in the centre of the grid, the only given digit is thoroughly symmetrically whacked in the centre. We have 6, 7, 8, 9 on the white dots as well. And that's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4's quadruples in column 5 and row 5. Some of these end up on odd or even circles and can be narrowed down. So this candidate approach may actually pay off, or it might not, I don't know. Now what do we do next? Right, next we consider the red region, where I've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 already included. So these remaining cells are 6, 7, 8, 9. This is actually an interesting truth. In one of these puzzles, X Sudoku or diagonal Sudoku, where you have both diagonals marked, this set of digits that I've just highlighted, none of them can ever be the same as each other. They have to be a set of 4 different digits. And that's because they all see each other, either in their row, column, or on the diagonal, which is interesting. And I mean, that will apply to this group of cells as well, if we ever learn anything about those. Now, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 set here as well. Now, I have to slightly expand my candidate range to include 5s there. Sorry, Simon, I don't have time to deal with you at the moment. So, can't do that. Now, what next? I don't know the answer. What next? Oh, I did see this. We've got 2 odds in this row. Now, X's are going to contain either a pair of odds each or a pair of evens each. Sorry, I am just going to get rid of Simon for a second. There we go. So, one of these could be a double odd. No, let's do it on row 8, which has evens. That's even and that's even. I don't know. I don't think we can do anything because either these are both odd. They could be 1, 9 and 3, 7 in some order. Or one of them is even, but I don't think that we've got the data to work that out. How about columns 2 and 8? Right, this 4 purple dot, it has either got 1, 4 or 2, 8 on it. Those are the only pairs that have that, how do I express it? That have a ratio of 4. So here we must be using 2 and 4 in those 3 cells. If that's 1, 4, that's a 2. And if that's 2, 8, that's a 4. So 2 cannot be used on this 3 dot, which is then either 1, 3 or 3, 9, and definitely includes a 3. Definitely includes another odd digit. How about over here? This one can't be 1, 3 because it would break that cell. So this is either 3, 9 or 2, 6. I mean, I don't know. This is either 1, 4 or 2, 8 again. Where are we? I don't know. What can we do? Oh, 5. 5 is on the diagonals already. So, sorry. 5 obviously couldn't be on the X's either. Right. Right, where's 5 in this column? I think we can just write it in. Isn't that weird? That is so invisible to me. 5 can't be on an X, so it's not in either of those cells. It can't be on this 4 grey dot. We know it's not there by sudoku. It can't be on the 3. Did I call it a grey dot? Purple dot. It can't be there, and it can't be in the even cell. So yes, we can write 5 into column 8. That means that 5 in box 8 is in one of those two positions, and 5 in row 7 is suddenly placed over there. Then 5 in box 4 is in one of those two. Now we place 5 in column 2. Oh, that's amazing. Then we've found an X-wing on 5s, by which I mean that group of cells contributes 2 5s. That's the only 5 in row 3. And now we've found another X-wing on 5s in row 4 and 6. Wow, 5s are very symmetrical in this puzzle. Fact. Well, let's look up and down these columns again, because I might be missing something about them. What other digits don't have a lot of multiples? I'm immediately drawn to 7. Now, 7 could go in this odd spot, but 7 can't go in any of these cells, or the even digit, or there. So 7 in column, what are we in? Column 8 is in one of those two places. And that's interesting. Remember what I told you earlier about that means, well, about these 4 being always different. Yes, that's absolutely beautiful. That places 7 in column 2. Because whichever one of these is 7, it rules 7 out of both of these on the diagonal and the horizontal. So those can't have a 7, and the 7 in column 2 is there. And that means, oh, I thought it meant we had a 5-7 pair here. It doesn't mean that, because that can still be 7. Okay, but 7 is in one of these two cells on an X with a 3. Now, come on, let's have a think about these columns then. Oh, 6. We still need to put a 6 into this column. That's got to be on one of these X's over this side, next to a 4. In one of them, and now neither of these can be a 6. I was going to go, so da-da, where does 6 go in column 8? But annoyingly, it can be on the 3 dot or in the even cell. So I can't pull that rabbit out of the hat a second time, unfortunately. If that's 6-4, that's a 2. If that's 6-4, I don't know. Nine in this column. Well, the trouble is it can be on the 3. 9, 3, 1. Then this would be 2, 8. Okay, let's just think about the combinations. If that was 9, 3, that's a 1. That's 2, 8. We've already got 5 there. These are selected from 4, 6, and 7. But this is contingent on if we have a 9 here. Maybe I should think about this column harder. If there's not an 8 there, oh, that's quite straightforward. No. I was going to say, if there's not an 8 here, then this is a 1-4 pair, and then that uses 3, 9, and that's a 2. These would, yeah, the simple thing, and I was going to express it this way and then I forgot, is that if there's not an 8 in this pair, that's a 6-8 pair in the column. However, if there is an 8 here, that's 8, 2, and that's 4. It doesn't Doesn't quite resolve anything. I think you can even keep 1 out of all of these cells by having it go 3, 9, 4, 2, 8. And then 1 would be in one of these. Oh, I haven't really thought about the extra regions, have I? Look. Oh, I don't know what to look at. Yes, I do know what to look at. Oh, that's lovely. Look. Where do these 2 digits, which are from 6, 7, 8 and 9 now, where do they go in yellow? There's a lot of cells that can be ruled out. Those are all in the same row, and those are in the same box. So the 2 yellow cells that those 2 go in are here and here. And these digits are definitely high. Is that the same down here? Yes, it is. Where do these 2 go in blue? They've got to be here and here. Ah, so look, this one is now not a 7. That's so weird. So we knew 3, 7 was going either in that domino or that domino, and we've suddenly found out it's not in this one because of asking where those 2 go in blue. That is bizarre. This puzzle is strange. Right, so 7 and 3 go up here. I was going to make all sorts of exciting remarks about how that's become a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad. And actually, that makes this group of cells a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad, if you think about the x's, which I still find quite interesting. I mean, that's the kind of way my brain's wired. That 3 has given us a 1 in this circle up here. That doesn't do much. It stops those. It does do something. It stops those being 1s, and the v's stop those being 4s. And now the 4 in the central box is in one of those 2 cells. So one of these is a 1, which I could just have worked out by looking in this box. That stops this being a 1. That stops this being a 4. Now, we have 6, 8, 9. That can't be a 9, obviously, because of this 1. So that's 6 or 8, and that's 2 or 4, and they're both even. Knowledge bomb. 9 is one of these cells, so one of these 2 is a 1. And neither of these 2 are a 9. Oh, and maybe I should apply it back to the extra regions. I don't really know how to. Or the diagonals. Look, there's a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad on the diagonal. This puzzle's weird. Right, so these corners are low digits, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And on this diagonal, I can take 7 out of that cell and out of this one. And I've got a 6, 8, 9 triple on that diagonal. These are low digits as well. This corner is not a 3 by sudoku. Now, have I done anything? I must have done something with this column. Either that was a 6, 8 pair. Can this really be a 9? That would be 3, 1. That would be 2, 8. And it does seem to work. I didn't mark 1 as in one of those cells because it's such a marking across boxes that would probably confuse me. I've already dared to do that with this 3 and just taken my chances. Oh, hang on. There's a 5 in one of those cells. There's 1 there, 3, 7 there. This odd digit is a 9. So that's not a 9. Those aren't 9s now. So now we've got a 5, 6, 8 triple in the row, and that is 2 or 4. And that's part of a quad in the final column. I suspect I'm doing this puzzle entirely in the wrong way, but it's really interesting this way. I don't know. 6, 7, 8, 9 still to place in the final column. This digit is even, so it's 6 or 8. More excitingly, I think it's forming part of a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quad. In fact, it's forming part of a 6, 8, 9 triple in the row. So these 2 are 5 and 7. This puzzle is getting stranger by the moment. 6, 8 or 9, that is 6 or 8. So one of these is a 1. And the other ones are selected from Well, these are from 1, 2 and 4. And that's another triple in the row. 3 in the row goes there. And that's part of a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad. It may keep all threes out of the corners. That 1, 2, 4 quad means we have 6, 7, 8 left to place in column 1. I'm quite glad I did this with all the candidates. I mean, I know it makes the grid look a bit messy, but it's actually much easier for me to find out what's going on. So, talking of which, here's a 6, 7, 8 triple in box 1. That can't be a 9 anymore. This is low from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I am about to think about the extra regions in a moment, but first of all, one of those is a 7 in this box. So that's not a 7, and therefore this can't be 6. That didn't get me very far. Now, extra regions. What do we need to do in the extra regions? We've got that 5, 6, 8 triple. Oh, we need to place a 9 in yellow. Bam, there it is. Can we do the same in blue? No, absolutely not. We've got 5, 7. One of these two was 6, 4. This one can't be a 6, 4 pair. So that is definitely 8 or 9. Now, of these two remaining digits, one is a low one and one is a high one that is not 5 or 7. And that is much less impressive than sticking that 9 in. Okay, let's try and use the 9. Neither of those are a 9, in fact, now. On this diagonal, one of these two must be a 9. That's come down to 1 or 2. Now I don't know quite what I'm looking for. I'll tell you what I'm looking for is placing 9 in this box. It's got to be there. Right, and that's on a white dot with an 8. That removes 8 from a number of possible places. This is now 6 or 9, but it can't be 9 because that can't be 8. So we've got a 6 here, 7 there. This is a 6, 9 pair touching a 7 and 8 outside it. We're left with a 2, 3, 4 triple. I bet it's these extra regions. And we kind of used the one at the top about as much as we can. So I've probably not done enough with this one at the bottom. 5, 7 pair there. Can that? Right. Here's a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad that I had not seen coming at all. So these other digits are low digits. This one on the 3 quad, on the 3 dot can't be a 4. So 4 is definitely in one of those two cells by Sudoku, and therefore not here or here in the corner. This is seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad in the row now. So this is 6, 8 or 9, and that's forming a triple in the box. So odd, this puzzle. That can't be 8, this can't be 2. That's now a 2, 4 pair in the column. That doesn't quite resolve anything. Nearly, but not quite. These can't be a 6 though, so the 6 in the bottom row is here. That's also in the blue, well, it's in box 7, so this can't be a 6. But we needed to put a 6 in one of these two cells, so that's become 6 up at the top. That goes with a 4 on the X. These are now a 7, 8 pair. That makes this cell a 6 on the diagonal. Oh, that also stops that being a 6. Stops this being a 6. Now 6 in this box must be in one of those two cells, and neither of those can be a 6. I may have missed the beauty of this puzzle. I mean, I'm really enjoying it, but I have a feeling there was a better way of attacking it. a better understanding one could gain of it, which I probably haven't got. Anyway, back on this yellow, so the yellow region, that's now a 5/8 pair. It makes this a 2. Well, it's not that makes this a 2. It was getting that 4 makes this a 2. That lets me take 2 out of a number of cells there. This even digit is 4 or 8. And where would it go on? Yes, it's seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4 triple. Where would it go in yellow if it was a 4 was what I was going to ask. But it's seeing that triple, so it's an 8. And that means this is a 6/7 pair, which I could have got before. 8 there. Now that means this is not an 8/2 pair. This is a 1/4 pair. That's a 3. That's a 2. That's a 6. That's a 9. That goes with a 1 on the X. That makes this X 2 and 8. All the X's are done. That 8 makes this a 9. That's a 7/8 pair. That's not doing anything. That 8, though, in column 2 makes this a 1. That's a 4. That's a 2. There's a lot of things to eliminate now from the pencil marks. That's become a 4. That must be a 1. That's 4 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light losing its religion. That's a 3 up there. This is not 4. That's not 3 or 4. Those can't be 3. So that's a 2/4 pair. On the V's, this is a 1/3 pair. These V's must both be even. They're a 2/4 pair. These V's must both be odd. They're a 1/3 pair. This is probably known. Nearly. It's 7 or 8. We place 6 in this box, though. And that's become a 1 in its box. That's a 7, 8, 9 triple. So this is now a 2/5 pair. It's intriguing. Oh, I've mistyped that. It's intriguing how this unwinds. That 2 is looking up, well, it's looking into 2 positions and making them 1s. 2 in the corner. That's on the diagonal. So this becomes a 4. That's a 1. That's a 3. That's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 4. That's a 2. That's a 3. All those original V's where we started are unwound. So is this 2/5 pair. That sorts out 5 here, and I can probably put in something here. It's a 3. Hadn't noticed we were missing a 3, obviously, or I would have dealt with it. Finish for box 6 and box 9 while I'm there. That's a 9 on the white dot. Finish for the white dots. Finish for box 4 and box 1. Just 2 columns to go now. All the diagonals look like they're complete and present and correct. Excellent. So let's start with this 9/8 pair. Fix the 5/8 pair. It's lovely, isn't it, how that has unwound? It's a really prettily put together puzzle. So symmetrical and very pure. Excellent stuff from Jazora, and you're very welcome to the channel. I'm glad you discovered it, and I'm glad and stunned that you've been able to come up with something that beautiful, complete and elegant as a first go, because that's a really classy puzzle. I hope as you've solved it, you've felt that too. It's just a feeling you get from it when the symmetry is so pure and flawless, and yet the deductions aren't ever trivial in that. Excellent stuff. Thank you for joining us as always. Love it when you do that, and really hope to see you again tomorrow or the next day on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.